Do you know what it truly feels like to feel alive? I'm talking about that feeling when you're like, yes, this feels good. I'm in alignment. Someone can say something to me and I'm not triggered by it. Or you're staying in your own lane and you're not comparing yourself to other people because you have the confidence and you know the direction that you're going in. You know that the way you're parenting is perfect for your children. You know the way that you work out, fuel your body, make your money, do whatever the heck you want to do is in alignment with who you want to be. And your relationships are in alignment with that. And if people get triggered by your success, you know how to manage that and to deal with it. And you've surrounded yourself with women who lift you up. There's not very much drama in your life. And when chaos comes knocking on your door, you're like, I've got this. I know exactly what to do. To me, this is what living alive feels like. And this is why this week, and this week only, I'm offering, I was going to call it a challenge, but it's not really a challenge. I'm just pulling back the layers and I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done watching women become addicted to busy and women addicted to suffering because that's all we've been taught. I know because I'm living proof, and I truly believe there is another way to live, work, play, and parent. So this week on the podcast, I'm actually just going to share the audios with you that I've been doing live inside the private Facebook group. But guess what? If you're on the list, you're also going to be getting added bonuses when I announce the program that is coming up at the end of the week. And you can also text me directly, like one-on-one, like send me a personal message. I want to know your aha moments. So if you want the number, you want to know how to text me directly, go to heatherchauvin.com/alive. Jump in, get notified, take action, make magic happen. So here we are, day 1, using your why as a motivator. So I will be in this direction. I will do this, but let me know where you're from. Comment below this video if you are watching it via video. We're going to be repurposing it and putting it in a few different places. So if you're listening to the replay for whatever reason and you are not live, if you can see the video, comment below it. So if you're watching it on Instagram or Facebook, please do. Amazing. So where are you from? I want to know, where are we from? We're going to be talking about what Live Alive is and why I structured it the way that I have, a little bit about my journey and my story. My intention is always to be 60 minutes or less. So 60 minutes or less to me means I have my words that I want to say, the points I want to make today. And if they get made earlier rather than later, then we will complete today. Every day. So Live Alive, I was going to call it a challenge, but I'm kind of all challenged out. And in all honesty, Live Alive is more about a mindset and more about a belief system for women who want to drastically shift how they feel in their lives. And a little bit about my background. So if you're not familiar with me, I'm the founder of the podcast called Mom is in Control. It actually took me a really long time to step into that name because when I was doing my what they call target market research, and I was talking to women mainly around parenting, I'll talk a little bit about my professional background. They all said, I want to feel in control of my life. I want to feel in control of my life. And at the time I had a mentor that said, Heather, your people want to feel in control. So Mom is in control because you talk to a lot of women who are also mothers or women who identify as mothers or they're mothering somebody, right? Someone. And back in the day, I used to be a social worker and I worked with families. And I also have 3 boys. They're 15, 10, and 7. And I fell in love with dissecting human behavior. I always asked myself that question, and I'm curious if you do too. Like, why do people do what they do, right? Like, why do people do what they do? How come this person, like both of these people had the same life experience? How come this one went this way and this one went that way? And child behavior and parenting became my thing, mainly because I was struggling with it as a parent, as a mother. But the weird part about that is I had the formal education around parenting, but yet there was a huge disconnect. And I was wise enough to understand that, I just want to make sure that this is working on Facebook. I was wise enough to understand that something was out of alignment and I had to pay attention to it. Perfect. Okay. You guys are great. Amazing. Okay. So I was out of alignment and I was like, there's something more, right? I had to listen to that little tiny voice inside of me that's like, not this, not this, not this. So if you're like, yes, post that below. And as I continued to listen to that voice over and over and over again, I was getting this confirmation that the old way of thinking, and I'm circling back to the whole point of why this is called Live Alive. The old way of thinking, the old way of doing things wasn't working, even in the parenting world, right? So I start going down this path. I'm learning about mindset. I'm learning about belief systems. I'm learning about meditation. And I start teaching these skills. To my children or my son. I only had one at the time. And as I am teaching, quote unquote, coaching, guiding, right? I'm learning about myself. So he is my teacher and we're learning. And then anxiety came along, fear came along. And I thought, I need to become the person that I most desire my child to be. Then I started a business. I started a business because there's something inside of me. Live alive, right? There's that desire inside of me for something different. And I felt like I was in I was the square peg in a round hole, and I was trying to jam myself in a system and in a ideology that just was no longer working for me. So then you kind of feel like you're out of place. You've outgrown something. So I outgrew something, and a bigger part of me had a message that wanted to get out into the world. So that's why I started my business. Mom is in control. And then what happens? Well, what are you taught as an ambitious go-getter, a woman with a dream and a desire? Hustle, grind, right? Lose sleep. Move this hour here and move this hour here. It's like check, 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 check. You get to check all the boxes. But subconsciously, I was running from this place of fear. I was running from this place of not enough. I didn't have enough. I wasn't doing enough. And this subconscious belief as a modern woman that I'm not enough, right? I hear it from you guys all the time. I'm not doing enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I can't, which is lack mindset. So today we're going to talk about possibilities and diving deeper into your bigger why. So I feel like I tell the story a million times, so you've probably heard it before if you're familiar with me. But almost 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. And predisposition, whatever that is, lifestyle factors, I do not want you to worry thinking you're going to get cancer, because a lot of people are like, oh, if you're triggered by that, understand that you have a fear of getting sick somewhere in your body and you don't know how to get out of that loop. So for many years, I was neglecting myself because I was looking to other women for mentorship. And culturally, they're like, honey, you can't have both. You can't take care of yourself and your kids and make money. You just can't do it. You can't have a career. And so I bought into that belief system, and I bought into that story, and I bought into the diction of busy, and I bought into all of the things to be good, right? Patting myself on the back. Why did I do that? I did that because I didn't think I was enough. I did that because I came into motherhood at a young age. I was 18. I already felt like I was failing, and it was really, really important for me to not fail, because I remember looking at my son for the first time, and my first literally my first thought is, I will not fail you. I will not fail you. And in order for you to become the man and the human that I desire you to be, which is above and beyond all of my quote unquote failures, I need to show up and start figuring shit out, because this is not enough for me. If you were in my position 18 years from now, I would not be satisfied. So I had to become that person, and I had to grow and learn with him. And because I was operating from this place of never enough, I went into burnout, and that burnout led to stage 4 cancer. And that stage 4 cancer cracked me open, wiped me out, almost killed me, but made me come alive. So live alive is part of my philosophy, which is, I didn't really know it was my philosophy until I started talking about it, until I did my TEDx talk, which you can find, called Dying to be a Good Mother. Right while I was writing my book this past year with my writer, Wyndham, one of my biggest fears while I was going through treatment was that I thought I was going to die. And then I realized I wasn't afraid of dying. I was afraid of not knowing how to live. And so since that moment, I started reverse engineering my life in alignment with how I wanted to feel. And so live alive is, are you actually feeling alive in the life that you are in right now? You were given this magical gift, one opportunity, except every day you have a new opportunity to start again. So in the next 5 days, I'm going to be talking to you about what that means to me. And if you are watching this on Instagram, I will be going live every day on Instagram at the same time. But if you want to get on the list and you want to get links to inside of our Facebook group community where we're diving deeper into the conversation, then go to myname.com/alive. So Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/alive. And we also have you can text me. So after every conversation that we're having, you're going to be kind of not gifted. You're going to be gifted some homework. You're going to be gifted some action steps. Those action steps are to encourage you to take action. Because if you don't take the action, nothing will happen. So you can also just go to that website I just said. You can text the phone number. The phone number is on that page as well. So the website again is Heather Chauvin, last name spelled CHAUVIN.com/alive. I highly recommend you register via the text or via email, because we're also going to be launching a program at the end of these 5 days, and we are gifting special bonuses to those people who are kind of on the inside circle. And the reason why we're doing that is because I reward action takers, and I also reward women who want to step up their life. So Live Alive is about courage. It's about being brave. It's about wanting to vomit, shit your pants, and get uncomfortable. And that is pretty much what my daily life looks like. And being on the other side, I wouldn't change it for the world. I am so incredibly grateful that I have the perseverance to just show up, to surround myself with people who light me up, and to also understand that by becoming ourselves, becoming who we were supposed to be. Thank you, Stephanie. Becoming who we were supposed to be, becoming more alive is the greatest parenting strategy, business strategy, relationship strategy, marriage strategy, health strategy that you will ever implement in your life. And every time I talk about money, time, energy, parenting, relationships, health, mindset, belief systems, it all comes back to, who do you want to be in the world? How do you want to feel? What do you want your work to look like? What do you want your relationships to look like? How do you want to be treated? And a lot of these are life skills that we've never been taught. Is it hard? Everyone else says it's so hard. It's so hard, Heather. Here's my belief. I do not believe the saying that is very popular by one of my favorite authors, we can do hard things. I believe we can do uncomfortable things. So I believe you were born and created to do uncomfortable things. I believe an action, it is not hard to pick up the phone. It is not hard to send the email. It is not hard to sit with somebody as they are dying. It's not hard. What is hard is feeling the feeling. I just said that wrong. It's not hard. It's uncomfortable. What is uncomfortable? I'm always correcting myself. See, progress, not perfection. It's uncomfortable to feel the feeling. So living alive is about feeling the feeling. And to feel alive, you have to go through. So for those of you who have ever watched a traumatic birth YouTube video, I don't care if you've given physical birth or not. We all have given birth to something. Like every day is like a rebirth, right? So any growth opportunity that you have gone through, there's a contraction phase. And the contractions can be physical contractions. They can be mental contractions. And then you have to go through that to get to that place of freedom or that thing, that was birthed. So I still go through contractions. There's an idea that I have or a goal that I want or a desire that I want to manifest in my life. And I start taking the steps towards it, and then contraction, right? Mental. I can't do it. The perfectionism, the self-doubt comes up, the contraction. So if I'm trusting my body or trusting my life, if I'm trusting the process, if I'm surrendering, saying, fine, I give up. When I say I give up, what I mean is, fine, I will stop trying to control the situation. I will allow you, universe, source, God, whatever, to show me the way. So allow that contraction to be there. Allow the contrast to be there. Allow the discomfort to be there. And then what happens? It softens. And then you push. I did not say hustle and grind and kill yourself. That is not what I said. You allow your body and your life to have these physical contractions, mental contractions, spiritual contractions, the OMG, what the F is going on here, contractions. And then when they loosen, you push a little bit. You take that physical action. Okay? And then on the other side, you feel alive, you feel freedom, you feel invigorated. The desire meets reality. This is called alignment. So this is what Live Alive is all about. And I'm super, super excited to have you ladies here for the next 5 days. So what's going to happen if you're not on that list? Get on the list. There's special bonuses, heatherchauvin.com/alive. And at the end of today and every day, you're also going to have homework/action steps. We're going to be emailing that out to you. We're going to be posting that. You can also use the hashtag LiveAliveHC. LiveAliveHC. I'll be posting that everywhere as well. So when you post your homework or like a snippet of your homework, so an example, if you're tagging me on Instagram, you would tag Heather Chauvin _. If you writing down something, you don't need to make it public like, OMG, I just divulged my biggest, darkest secrets. And then you tag, you are going to be entered to win some amazing gifts. We're going to be giving giveaways every day, and the gifts are going to get better and better towards the end. The first one is going to be journal, my amazing Mom is in Control journal. This is actually an older version. It looks the same, except now it's like dark navy blue. But it's made with recycled apples. It smells amazing. We do not sell these at all. I typically give them away at retreats. So that's kind of an exclusive. So that's your first gift. So a reminder that, tagging me is helpful. All right. Today we're going to be talking about opportunity, possibilities, and your why. The link is in my bio as well. So go to my bio on Instagram. You can find it there. Opportunity and your why. As we continue throughout this week, I'm going to be talking about resistance. I'm going to be talking about lots of things. What do you want? Why do you want it? How are you going to dig deeper? But I want to talk about possibility. So it is the year 2020, which is the first time that I can say we've all been in the same storm, but in a very different boat. Okay, so now I hope my voice does not go out. 2020. As I sit here, I am a work from home mom, 3 boys, 2 are homeschooling. My husband works within our company as well and has some other things on the side and is a full human, just like me. And our 3rd son is in physical school. There's a lot going on. We all have a lot going on. We can focus our mental energy, our physical energy on possibility, or we can focus it on drama, and we can focus it on overwhelm, and we can focus it on guilt and fear. Now, I am not going to sit here and tell you that I am never afraid or I never feel guilty or that I never get overwhelmed. But the essence of feeling in control of your life is knowing how to control those big emotions. That is my personal opinion, and I am not a doctor. So I have been through multiple forms of hell in my life, through tremendous grief, through separation and loss and single parenting, cancer, child behavioral issues, diagnosis, education, blah, 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 blah. We've all had our challenges, and they're very different. I choose to focus on possibility. And I also choose to get very crystal clear on my why. Very crystal clear on my why. What's going to get me out of bed in the morning? What is going to allow me to push through those quote unquote contractions? And what is going to allow me to chronically live in alignment with how I want to feel? What is going to allow me to do that? So when I ask women, when they start working with me, why are you here? A lot of them will say, I don't know my why. And I think this is really, really important for you to understand. I don't know my why. Like why I am here, what is going to get me out of bed in the morning. And oftentimes it's because we are so overwhelmed with what's not working in our lives that we actually don't know what we want or why we want it. Okay, just let that sink in. We don't know what we want or why we want it. So I'm going to read to you some of the things, the responses that people said when coming into the private Facebook group. I need parenting ideas, more patience, and feeling alive in my life. I want to feel connected again. I want to let go of mom guilt, shame, and learn about energetic time management and learn about that process. I've been listening to your podcast and lately feel that your words have really been hitting home. I need to help straighten out juggling 3 boys, housework, running my own consulting business. This past year was hard. Where do I start? I need to work more on myself and organize my chaotic life. I need to be more a conscious mother and my best self. I'm about to step into the unknown world after a failed marriage, and I know I need strength to manage my time and emotions better. I'm tired and looking for motivation and drive. Parenting strategies, learning to be more present and relaxed, to be more mindful and joyful, to feel more fulfilled and energetic in my day, to feel like a thriving mom living her best life. Amazing. Here's the thing. Why? Why do you need parenting ideas? Why do you need more patience? Why do you want to feel more alive? Ask yourself, write it down. Why do you want tips and tricks on motivation? There's no tips or tricks, by the way. Why do you want to feel connected again? Why do you want to organize your chaotic life? Why are you tired? Why do you want to regain control? Why do you want to stop emotionally eating? So this is the thing that I want you to consider. I pulled, or we pulled, my team pulled, why are you joining this challenge? Why are you joining this community? And the answers were, I want to learn how to, right? Or I am. So when your response is how to, or I am, fill in the blank, you have to understand that you're here watching this, listening, because you have a desire. And that desire is from something bigger than you. But in order to become the woman that you most desire to be, you have to go through and you have to get uncomfortable and you have to be willing to invest in yourself. What does that mean? You have to be willing to show up, ask yourself, am I putting in energy? Or am I busying myself to avoid doing the work that I know I need to do? So we will talk about resistance in the coming days. But I'm going to ask you why. You have to get super crystal clear. So when I started this process, my why was not for me. And I'm going to be radically honest that I still do everything that I do typically for somebody else because I am just so passion driven. Everything that I did to energetically prepare for this call today, I did with you in mind. Because if I showed up to this call living by default, meaning I didn't get up, I didn't feed myself, I didn't drink water, I didn't move my body, I just push, go, go throughout my whole day, show up to this call and I'm like, hey guys, I don't want to be here. Just faking it till I make it right now. And all right, let's go. I guess the first thing we should talk about is knowing your why. If energetically I am not on my game, it is going to radically influence you. So if I have influence on you by taking care of myself, imagine the influence you have on the people in your home or in your community or in your work or the relationships that you have, the influence you have when you start taking care of yourself. So today is all about focusing on your why. Why do you want change? Why do you want to begin to feel alive? Why? Why are you willing to do the work? Why are you willing to get uncomfortable? Why are you willing to trigger people when they're like, why are you doing that? When they start questioning, when you start creating habits and shifts in your life. And focusing on possibility. And I know this is uncomfortable. Not hard, but uncomfortable. Your brain has two settings. It's either going to cheer you on or it's going to knock you down. The fight or flight. You're either going to fight or you're going to run away. When you are living in a state of survival mode in any area of your life, you have this scarcity mindset. And when we have trauma in our lives, oftentimes we can stay in that state. And I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm hoping I don't cry. My heart is the side, like I am a sucker for anything that needs my help. And I have had to learn over the years to have very sacred boundaries with that, because sometimes rescuing every person and every animal and every time your child falls down and gets hurt is not going to be of higher service to that individual or that animal or yourself. Because if you are a chronic rescuer and giver, you have to learn how to receive as well in order for anything to be sustainable. So this past weekend, my husband and I and my family were in a large city, and we were coming back from a trip, and we had some sleeping bags in our car. And so this is in the city that I live in, and we're walking down the street, and there's lots of individuals experiencing homelessness. So I'm like, we have a few sleeping bags. Let's give them to individuals who need them, because I got them on sale and I can afford to buy new sleeping bags, and it's starting to get cold out. So why am I holding on to something that can be of service to somebody else when they're right in front of me and they're like, I need help? Again, there's a fine line here of not over giving, but I had this strong impulse to give our sleeping bags away. So the point of what I'm trying to make there is you can make giving part of your goal, but also serve yourself too, meaning like you're not cold, right? But when you have the privilege and opportunity to be able to be of service to others and yourself, and your cup is overflowing, you can keep everything in your cup. You can even keep some of the overflow, but give some of the overflow away, because this is how life works. So I was talking to this gentleman, and I said, here, do you need a sleeping bag? And he's like, where are you from? What organization? I said, no organization. This is just my sleeping bag. Like, here, you can take it. And he said, this is my second night on the street. And he started telling the story, his own personal story about how he got to the street and how someone stole his car and that he had no family to go to and blah, blah, blah. And I can judge. I've worked on the street before as a social worker. I can judge his story. I can know that he's lying to me, all of these things, or I could just see him as a human. But what I saw was this man terrified to close his eyes. Absolutely terrified to close his eyes, living in a state of survival mode, and his fight or flight response and the trauma that his brain was going through of not having a human basic need of a roof over his head and not even being able to have a quality sleep because he's terrified somebody's going to harm him at night. Whole other conversation that we can have there. But what I'm trying to tell you is that our brain operates from a state of survival mode when we have had traumatic experiences, whether it's in our childhood or adulthood, parenting, motherhood. There's a lot that goes on. You're not broken. Your brain will operate from a negativity bias, chronically telling you why you cannot do something. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this man. I don't know if he is still on the street, but I guarantee you, maybe, depending on his mental health and his opportunity, if this is a first for him and it was a kick in the ass and it was something that he needed to just get his life together, who knows, right? Who knows? But maybe there's something deeper inside of him that's whispering, show the fuck up. Go see this counselor, go to this, go back here, go do this, go do that. there's a whisper inside of us always guiding us in the direction. Like when I had a pull to give him the sleeping bag, I had to listen to that instead of allowing my negativity bias to take over, saying, oh my God, what are you doing? Heather, you're outside at night downtown, like not going to go over well. I listened. And having that conversation just cracked me open a little bit more. Many times in my life when I wanted to give up, many times in my life when my why was not bigger than my excuses. My why was not bigger than my negativity bias. So many times when I just wanted to sleep, many times when I wanted to not live alive, I wanted to live numb, or I wanted to live broken, feeling broken, or I wanted to subscribe to the cultural appropriate, conversation that exhausted is a badge of honor, that overwhelm is a gold star, that if you're busy, or you must be so busy, you have children, you must be so busy, you're working. Oh my gosh, what is that like? Or I can choose how I want to feel. I can choose the desire. I can choose the little voice. I can choose something deeper inside of me that's calling out to get my attention. Living alive. Okay, I'm going to do a quick check-in, see if there's any questions that you have on what I've said so far. So post them below. All right, so some of this isn't working. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a few of these questions on the basic foundation of what it means to feel alive. So I get a lot of questions from everyone asking me about mom guilt, and we're going to get more into that, like understanding your big emotions. So if you have registered at heatherchauvin.com /alive, and you have the phone number, I want you to text me a question or an aha moment that you had from this conversation. Myself or a team member will get back to you because we have a lot of people signed up for this. Or if you're watching this inside the Facebook group, comment below. Same with Instagram. Just reach out somehow. You're watching this, comment below. But this is really, really important to understand, because your aha moments give me more fuel to dig deeper with you. So the more you show up, the more value you're going to get from this. So what does it actually mean to feel alive? This feels like a basic question, but it is a challenging one. So I want you to think about a time when you felt alive. Think about it. When have you felt alive in your life? When have you felt alive in your life? When you figure out a time, and this takes time. This takes, like, you're going to have to physically sit there. So for those of you, I'm going to be talking about this after. I'll send you a few journal prompts and stuff in the homework of the next action steps to take. Oh my gosh, my dog is freaking out in the background. It's so important for you to understand, to ask yourself, when have I felt alive in my life? And for some of us, and I say us because I was included in this camp, I didn't remember when I felt alive in my life. Like, I had to think of moments in my childhood when I felt alive, what was I doing? Like, that is what I call a breadcrumb. Like, there's so much juiciness in that question, because you come into this world as you, and then expectations are put on you. And then as you get older, roles are put on you, responsibilities, and then we forget who we were. Not everybody is going to run a marathon. Not everyone is going to be into painting pottery. Not everyone is going to want to be a writer. Not everyone needs to do that. But there's something inside of each and every one of us that is a remembrance. I just made up that word. I don't even know if I said it correctly in a sentence. What the fuck? When we were a child. So I'll give you an example. When I was a child, and if you said to me, when did you feel alive? I remember taking rocks from my grandparents' driveway and polishing them up and reselling them to my neighbors for like $1 or something like that. And what I was doing, I did this assignment with somebody one time. They're like, do you realize how you see the possibility in everything, Heather? Like, you take something that someone looks at and they're like, ugh, that's gross. You polish it up and you are like, look, it's great. It's fine. I just got the dirt off of it. And I do this to people. I'm like, you are in there. You are in there. You've always been in there. You just got a little dirt on you. You got expectations. You have belief systems. You got some resistance wrapped around there. But there's no reason why you can't stop yelling as a parent. There's no reason why you can't make more money in your business. There's no reason why you can't figure out how to align your time. You're a little dirty. We just got to clean you off. So when in your life have you felt alive? What were you doing? Think about the past 6 months. And maybe, this time has been a blessing for you. Think about when you have felt alive. And it's probably those simple moments. Write it down. Write it down. When you were a child, what were you doing? What was the energy of that experience? All right. Okay. I moved to another country at 14 and got married and had babies very young. I don't think I ever know myself fully. Yeah. So same here. Don't think I ever know myself fully, ever known or lived a life for myself. When we are living our lives for other people, we don't even know who we are. And then we have symptoms. Our life gives us symptoms. We get sick mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We feel depleted, not enough time, not enough energy, not enough money. And then we wonder why. And the second someone challenges you to think differently, to live differently, you're like, but I can't. But we're focused on possibility here. Fake it till you make it. I hate it. Fake it till you make it was a big thing for me. I lived that way too hard. Oh, geez. And thought everyone else's life marriage was just like that and it was perfectly okay, normal. But that's not normal or okay. I haven't felt alive in a long time. However, I started to feel a tiny bit alive again the day I opened my eyes and said to myself, this isn't okay anymore. I am nowhere near being past this state, but I am, yes, amazing. It takes a lot of work. We eat every day. We move every day. So why don't we just eat in alignment with how we want to feel? Why don't we just move in alignment with how we want to feel? Why don't we just gradually every day, 1 degree better, 1% better, work in alignment with how we want to feel, even if somebody else is dictating your schedule? 1 degree better. It's the little tiny shifts. I started swimming because water calms me mentally. But my contractions were getting into costume swimming for the first time in 10 years in a gym. But after 2 weeks now, it's the most freeing. Amazing, right? You're going to have bumps along the way. You're going to have discomfort. Aha moment. It's important for me not to lose myself and my essence during my parenthood. It reminds me if my cup, oh geez, Cup is full. I'm able to be present, filling our cups so I can be the mom and human I want to be. Amazing. Most alive time was when I went to university. It was all about me. I didn't have to look after anyone else except myself. I tried new things and pushed through my fear. Amazing. So Tammy, I tried new things and pushed through my fear. Still do that. It doesn't mean I always tell people, I'm like, you don't have to quit your job and move to Bali. What is the energy behind what you want and desire? Infuse that energy in everyday life. So I'm going to be talking more about that this week. This is amazing. Aha moment. Feeling like I would go mentally crazy or fall sick due to burnout. Yeah. Yep. I've resisted building my career. The work fills me up. My but I can't has been I'm a mom so I can't. How many of you use your children to play small? Because I'm telling you right now, I have so many behind the scenes conversations with women who want to work or are working women and say, I am happier when I'm working. If you are happier and you know you are happier working and building your career and you choose happiness, you choose what fills you and you outsource the rest, meaning you don't outsource parenting, but you outsource the parts of it that do not bring you joy, maybe like cooking and cleaning and the day-to-day mundane stuff, you outsource that. Oh my gosh, you might actually feel in alignment. You might actually feel alive. Oh my gosh, what a crazy concept. But then there's shame, there's overwhelm, there's judgment, there's fear, all of that comes in. But what if you don't want to work? What if you are working and you're like, I really just want to be at home? What if? What if you just test the waters? What if? Guilt definitely plays into it. And I'm going to talk about guilt because guilt, I believe, is a female issue or a predominantly female issue, challenge. I experience guilt, but I also feel like guilt is something we can use as an excuse. And when you gain emotional intelligence, you can then gain more understanding of how guilt can be manipulative as well. I believe guilt is a form of fear, wearing a mask. So people will say, oh, fear, false evidence appearing real, or face everything and rise. Or in the personal development industry, everyone talks about fear. And, fear, again, is the negativity bias. We have fear to keep us safe. You are afraid to run in the middle of the street because you're going to get hit by a car. Understanding sometimes running towards something that scares the crap out of you and your brain is saying, no. It's actually keeping you safe, but it doesn't understand that what you're about to do is life enhancing, right? So if you're running towards the example that was given here, running towards getting in that bathing suit and jumping back in the pool, and your brain is going, no, and resistance is coming in, but getting back in the pool is going to be an action to help you get in alignment with how you want to feel. You have to understand how to manage that fear. Guilt is the exact same way. So if I am feeling guilty for working, or if I'm feeling guilty for traveling for work, or I feel guilty for going for the gym, or I feel guilty for eating healthy when everyone else in my family's like, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to do that. I feel guilty for feeling good. So I watch the guilt. I feel the guilt. And I'm like, what is this? What's my why? I want to be the best female role model for my male boys. I also want to make a bigger impact in the world. So me playing small, how is that going to benefit anybody? But if I allow guilt to run the show, guess what? I get to play small, and I also get to blame my family for my lack of work hours because I didn't have a strategy in place and I didn't want to sit with my discomfort of my guilt. I can still feel the guilt and take the action. I can dig deeper into what's the story I'm telling myself about the guilt. Sometimes I let it run the show. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I feel guilty, so this is going to happen. And then I notice resentment comes up. You have to understand emotional intelligence in order for you to understand how to navigate your inner world of belonging with yourself and everybody else. Managing fear feels impossible when you're inside of it, and empowering when you're watching it. 100%. It feels impossible, but also understanding there's fear muscles, there's guilt muscles. You can work that muscle so good to be like, I'm a master at managing my guilt and my fear, or I am a master at letting fear and guilt run my life. It can go both ways. Every action, every thought that you have, you are strengthening a muscle to either live in a place of possibility or a place of lack. Authenticity is taking action on those little whispers like the sleeping bag, 100%. 100%. Playing small, I just wrote about this last week. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Also paying attention, like how are you playing small in your life? Yes, I wouldn't give up my stay-at-home mom moments for the world, but there are a lot of negative thoughts that surface to make me think it's a wrong choice and I can't do both, work and stay at home, but are okay. So here's the thing. I mean, there's so much women, I don't even want to call it mom shame. It's like woman shaming. I think mom is a title, right? So I attract a lot of moms, but I also work with women who do not have children, but they might have employees or friends and they're like mothering everybody and they're burnt out and overwhelmed. Whatever you choose, however you choose to spend your time, your energy, your life, sometimes we don't know. People will say, I don't know what allows me to feel alive. And you have to become the detective of your life. Like I can be a guide for you, but I can't do the work for you. I'm still trying to figure out like my own freaking life, right? I'm still trying to figure out my own life. I'm trying to raise my children. I can be a guide, but nobody can tell you exactly what that alignment moment is going to look like or feel like. And understanding that there's contractions. So when you can master the skills of emotional intelligence for yourself, you also understand what that looks like and feels like for you. So for some women, it is, I want to be 100% stay-at-home mom. For some women, it is, I want to do half and half. For some women, it's 80-20. And for some, there's seasons of stay-at-home mom. But what I see is people saying, I should. And I'm also going to be mindful of the real, challenge that some want to be full-blown something, but they can't because of the workforce and they have to pay their bills. There's different levels, right? But here's the thing. You may be in a situation where you're like, not this. 1 degree. What are you going to do to educate yourself if you are full-blown stay-at-home and you're like, I have no idea what to do? Do you want to get a job? Do you want to start something? Or if you're a working mom and you want to create more time freedom and flexibility, you don't have to like quit your job tomorrow. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that's a step in the right direction of opportunity and possibility? But if you say, I can't, you never will. You never will. One time I was working with this woman. She was like, she had a horrible, horrible childhood and upbringing. Motherhood was, this was in social work as well. And motherhood was a traumatic experience for her. Again and again and again, it was just like life was throwing her curveballs and curveballs. She didn't have her high school diploma. She, everyone was just kind of expected that she wasn't going to go anywhere. And I looked at her and I said, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want to get educated. I want to help people. I'm like, let's do it. What's the next step? She's like, well, I want to go to university. And I was like, why can't you? Well, because I was told that I can't, or I didn't get my high school diploma. And I'm like, but you've been out of high school for like 5+ years. Why can't you go as a mature student? Well, I never thought about that. Everyone just told me that I couldn't because she wasn't focused on possibility. So we applied for her to register as a mature student. She goes, well, I can't afford this. Then her next objection was money. Okay, great. What are you going to do about it? What's your why? Well, I never want my children to feel the way that I did. I want to inspire them. I want to empower them. I want to leave a legacy. I want to break all these generational patterns. Great. How can you? Tell me, are you going to focus on possibility and your why? Or are you going to allow your brain to get the best of you? So we applied for bursaries. We applied for grants. We applied for student loans, and she got it. And she got in the school. And then she was afraid she's going to fail. And I said, again, guess what we get to do? She said, what? I said, focus on possibility. This is uncomfortable. I get it. You've been told again and again and again why you need to be exhausted and tired and overwhelmed and why you can't have enough time or money or energy. Are your actions in alignment with how you want to feel? What's your why? Are you focused on that? Or are you focused on why you can't? And she did it. All because she shifted her mind over and over and over and over again. So some of you are writing, I am a shoulder, meaning I should all over myself. You shit all over yourself. You shit all over yourself. Watch what you say when you say, I am. I am. If you say, I am, you're making a declaration that you are. I do. I'm going to change. I should on myself too. I should do this. I should do that. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Why do I do that? I talk to myself a lot. Nicole says, I want to feel in control with how much I work and how much I make, to be able to work less in the summer, to be with my kids, not sure how to do this or what business to start. Start asking yourself those questions. The business that you want to start and the business the next woman wants to start are going to be two different things. But if you focus on possibility of how can I, what does that look like? That's an opportunity. Opportunity, opportunity. What skills do you have? What do people come to you for? All right. Any other questions? We're going to wrap up today. The last thing that I want to say is paying attention to how you want to feel in your life. If you want to be able to get the email notifications of when I'm going to be going live, get on the inside, I highly, highly recommend you go to my website, heatherchauvin.com/alive. Last name is spelled CHAUVIN, CHAUVIN. I'm going to put this here on Instagram. I think I can tag it. And then I'm going to talk to you about who are you going to be? What are you going to do? What's the action you are going to take to change your life? What is your why? Your why needs to be bigger than your excuses. Your why needs to be bigger than your excuses. We all have the same excuses. We all have, in some form or other. And some of you might be like, but Heather, you do not understand. And I probably don't. I'm not in your shoes and you're not in my shoes. There are many things that I would be able to use as an excuse. But when I say, is there a way to work around that? Maybe I can't do it today. Maybe I can do it tomorrow. I've been consistently inconsistent most of my life, not everywhere in my life, but it feels like most things I start, I will never follow through. I haven't figured out the why. Amazing. Figure out your why. It is so, so, so important. Okay. Text me. I want to know your aha moment. Either post it below if you're watching this on Instagram, post below this video if you're watching a Facebook group, or if you want to do it privately, text me 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199. It's a US phone number. I will reply, or somebody on my team. And also, your homework is going to be posted. I will share all of those details. No, you're not alone. I will be back tomorrow, same place, same time. And I will reveal to you what we're talking about then. But it's going to be all in alignment with living alive. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a good night.